Good morning to everybody. Thank you for the invitation. And I want to really start by thanking all of you for everything you've been doing for Palestine. And I'm speaking to you on behalf of the Palestinian people, thanking you for your solidarity, thanking you for your support, thanking you for caring about Palestine. I want to thank you, every representative from each country and from the world. And I want to thank the preparatory committee for this very good preparation for what we hope will become a powerful global alliance for Palestine, unifying and uniting all solidarity efforts worldwide. I want especially to thank all my colleagues in the steering committee that are here. They're all very close friends, but especially I want to thank Jeremy Corbyn for his commitment. And he allowed me to announce to you today that his new party, which is called yourparty.uk, has just gotten 393,000 new members. So, congratulations, Jeremy. I think that is the real response to those who conspired against you while you were in the Labour Party, and those who accused you of anti-Semitism, who themselves are the provocators of anti-Semitism worldwide. Thank you for the introduction, although I myself feel hesitant about being on the same list of nominees for Nobel Peace Prize with a person like Donald Trump. You know. I don't need to remind you the crimes in Palestine. I don't need to remind you with the horrible situation our people live in, especially the horrible crimes against our people now in Gaza. But I have to mention that what is happening now is 3 war crimes in parallel. The war crime of genocide, which has killed already, I think if we count all the people who were killed by bombardment and by diseases and by preventing medical care, it could reach 100,000 people. But also suffering from terrible collective punishment and the horrible man-made starvation, which is unprecedented in human history. But in addition to that, the act of ethnic cleansing that is going on around the clock. It is not easy to forget that at least 110,000 tons of explosives have been thrown on Gaza. That little place. It's about 56 kilograms of explosives for each man, woman, and child in Gaza. 51,000 children have already died or were injured. While we talk, every 17 minutes, a new child in Gaza is killed or injured. And there are 70,000 children who are just at the edge of death now while we are speaking because of starvation. UNICEF has just announced that 1/3 of all people in Gaza, including children, did not eat for the last 48 hours. And a destruction that has already destroyed more than 92% of all homes or structures. It's killing by bombardment, killing by starvation, killing by a biological warfare. Our medical teams, and we have 80 of them now working in Gaza, treating about 200,000 people every month, tell us that there are already 115,000 cases of infectious hepatitis, and that every person in Gaza, including our medical doctors, are getting sick 3 times a month at least. And now with this starvation, their immunity will go down drastically. They kill people with chemical pollution. Of course, all these bombs much of which are with depleted uranium, will cause terrible long-term effect, including very huge number of cancer cases. And yet, the American president is encouraging the fascist Netanyahu and his fascist governments to proceed with the killing, with the destruction, and with the ethnic cleansing. What does he mean when he said, yesterday, what did the president President Trump meant when he said that the Palestinians know what will happen after they hand over all their captives? What will happen? Israel will continue the war and continue the ethnic cleansing of all of Gaza. That's what he meant. And that's how it should be perceived. And that's the risk we are living in. But it's not only Gaza. West Bank also is subjected to terrible, horrible terrorist acts and attacks by the illegal settlers, terrorist groups. And you heard what happened the last 3 days when the Israeli Knesset again decided with 71 votes against only 3 Jewish votes to annex the West Bank. It's not just the government. It's also the Israeli Zionist opposition that are participating in that. Only 10 Arab members of the Knesset voted against it, and only 3 Jewish members. Many of the so-called opposition parties left the Knesset not to vote against this terrible decision of annexation. So the picture is clear. It's a fascist tendency. It's a fascism in the worst possible way since Second World War. We've never seen anything like that anywhere in the world, including this terrible starvation that everybody is trying to, has to see, and everybody has to take actions against. The message I want to convey to you, I don't want to be long, but I have to say that. The message I want to convey to you, that the Palestinian people, all the Palestinians, are facing now existential threat, that the Israeli plan is a total annihilation of the Palestinian people. That's the kind of risk we are facing today. It's much worse than Kosovo. It's much worse than any other place in modern history. And this fact that we are facing the risk of annihilation has happened only because Israel was allowed to kill international law, and because international law and international humanitarian law died on the land of Gaza during these Israeli attacks. So what we face here, what you face here with us as Solidarity people, is not just the responsibility of being in solidarity with a just cause. No, it's more than that. What you face today, what you encounter today, is historical responsibility of the whole humanity to save the Palestinian people from this act of ethnic cleansing and annihilation. And let me be frank with you. The burden of confronting this horrible risk cannot be left only to the Palestinian people in Gaza or in the West Bank. That is not acceptable. Of every Palestinian everywhere in the world has the responsibility of standing up now and confronting this. But every human being, every person that believes in humanity has now the responsibility of standing up, because there are 2 things only that will stop this horrible thing from taking place. 2 things only that will stop this genocide. The Palestinian resistance on the ground in every possible way, and the international solidarity movement with true sanctions imposed on Israel. What we need is a true movement immediately to impose sanctions on the fascist Israeli system, to confront the Israeli lobby everywhere in the world, and to be effective in exercising pressure on governments and on policies of different countries. Like what we've heard today, that 221 members of the British Parliament demanded from Mr. Starmer that there should be recognition of Palestine. Half of them are, by the way, from the Labour Party, but he's not listening. And I think that kind of pressure should be enhanced. The big question is, for all of us today, and I will soon end, the big question is how to make our movement more effective, how to have the largest possible impact. We are not at a stage where we have to think about activities, about input, about output. We have to think about impact, how we can be impactful, how we can stop this terrible genocide. And that requires, in my opinion, 5 things. First of all, meticulous organization. Our enemy is strong because it's very organized. Meticulous organization, excellent coordination, and unity of actions. That's first. Second, an effective communication strategy to undermine the other narrative and to present the true narrative, the objective narrative about what's happening. And third, a very wide network of activities. And fourth, to attract the utmost possible number of young people and give them leadership positions in this movement. And fifth, to create a powerful public lobby pressuring different governments, including the government of the United States. We have to take into consideration that we have to repeat what happened in South Africa, considering also the difference in situation. It's much worse today in Palestine than it was in South Africa. How did we bring down apartheid system in South Africa? That's something we have to repeat, but also considering the fact that what Palestinians face now is not just discrimination. They are facing, as I told you, annihilation of a whole nation. And before that, before everything, we have 2 immediate tasks. Immediately, now, we have to think about what we can do now to stop the starvation of people in Gaza and the starvation of children. We have to stop this terrible genocide where when Israel and the United States of America are declaring that their intention to continue the war. There is no time to waste. The issue is absolutely urgent because the children of Gaza do not have the luxury of waiting. With the passage of every minute, more children will die. Thank you so much.